official.
Okay, it's 5 o'clock. We're going to go ahead and start our county council meeting. Thank you to everyone that's here. I have to do this. Cover your ears, Nolan. I hate that thing. Okay, we'll go ahead and start with an opening by Councilman Nolan Gunnell.
Okay, I'd just like to open a few comments first. Wishing everybody in the county a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. We're giving our council a gift. We get a whole month off, supposedly, before another council meeting. That's exciting. I really like that. And I would like to take a minute to thank Barbara Tidwell for her service. If you haven't heard, she has tendered her resignation. I called her up immediately and tried to talk her out of it, even tried to bribe her. So I'm not very good. She didn't take my action. So I would like to take a minute and give her a round of applause for her time. And while I'm standing, I'll finish my comments in the form of a prayer. Our Father in heaven, we come before thee at this time and we give grateful thanks for this land and the freedom and the peace which we enjoy. We pray at this time in this month of December as we take time to reflect on our bounteous blessings and many things we've been blessed with. I ask a prayer at this time for those men and women who serve this country, who are going to be away from their family at this time in the holidays. Thou bless them and their families, that they may have peace during this month and that they may have reasons to celebrate, and may we as citizens who benefit from their sacrifice recognize them and give thanks and credit to the time that they have served those who were present and in the past. We give thanks for their sacrifice. We pray that they'll be with us during this meeting, that we can do the business of the county in a correct manner. This we pray and ask for, and do so in the name of the Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. Amen. Now just stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Nolan. Before we move on in the agenda, I have a special presentation that I would like to read. This is a resolution recognizing and expressing profound gratitude for outgoing council member Barbara Yost Tidwell. Okay. Don't you cry, because I have to say all this. Okay, Barbara Yost Tidwell has been an integral member of the Cache Valley community for over 5 decades and has served the residents of Cache County as a member of the county council for nearly 9 years, beginning in January 2017. And whereas her distinguished commitment to this legislative process is evidenced by her service on 5 separate county councils, including her leadership roles as council chairperson in 2022 and council vice chairperson in 2023, and also in 2024, and also, I believe, in 2021. So we'll fix that. Whereas she is consistent and passionate advocate for the fair treatment and compensation of county employees, while championing principles of sound fiscal responsibility for the taxpayers. And whereas her dedication, level-headed patience, unwavering positive attitude, remarkable sense of humor, and tireless work ethic consistently demonstrated a commitment that went above and beyond the call of duty. And whereas Councilmember Tidwell has chosen to resign from the council to embark on new personal adventures, dedicating more time to her beloved husband and pursuing cherished travel plans. Now therefore be it resolved that Cache County does hereby formally recognize and express its profound gratitude and sincere appreciation to Councilmember Barbara Yost Tidwell for her many years of dedicated service, her lasting contributions to the county, and her continued concern for all the citizens of Cache County and beyond. And be it further resolved that the county extends its warmest wishes to Barbara and her husband for a joyful, fulfilling, and adventurous retirement from the Cache County Council, and expresses that she will be dearly missed by her colleagues and staff. So thank you again, Barbara. I think we should clap again. Okay, well, it's hard to let Barbara go. All right, so review and approval of the agenda. Does anyone want to make a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we approve the agenda. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, the review and approval of the minutes, we have several. There's the workshop and regular December 2nd meetings, and amending and approval of the 11/18/2025 regular and truth and taxation meeting minutes.
The second aren't available.
They're not available yet.
Okay. So we're
Okay,
just doing the
so we're just doing-
11/18 and the truth and taxation
Yeah, with those corrections.
with
Okay,
the corrections.
with the corrections that were made. Has anyone been able to look at that and would be willing to make that motion?
I would move that we accept the minutes for 11/18/25, the regular meeting, and then the council county truth and taxation meeting minutes on 11/18.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we amend and approve the 11/18/2025 regular and truth and taxation meeting minutes. Those in favor say
Oh,
aye.
just one sec. It says we adjourned at 38:45. Maybe we should change that to the time on the truth and taxation adjournment. Just-
Oh, yeah, that
Is
doesn't,
that the timestamp?
Oh, the timestamp. My bad. Sorry. I thought
okay.
it was the time. My bad. Thanks. For the
Okay.
recording, not the time.
all right.
Okay, thanks.
Again, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. All right, report from the county executive. Turn some time over to Mr. Daines.
I don't have any appointments, but I'd like to just inform the council that we're distributing the Christmas bonus checks to the employees and officers, and they're uniformly thankful. They appreciate what the county has done. I think it's something next year that you're gonna wanna participate in some fashion, divide up the county or something. Kurt and I visited almost all of the departments. There's still a couple we have to catch up with, but the employees are uniformly thankful for that. The second matter I'd like to bring to your attention is we've changed the leadership in COG. Mayor Craig Hidalgo has served as the chairman this last year, done an outstanding job. The mayors and the COG board elected Mayor Buse of Mendon to be the new chair and Mayor Peterson of North Logan to be the vice chair. That's my report.
Thank you for that. Okay, 6A on our agenda, the PILT payment. Is Blair Stringham here?
All right, thank you, Madam Chair. My name is Blair Stringham. I'm with the Utah Division of Wildlife Resources, and I'm here this afternoon to present the PILT check to the county. This is a check that we pay in lieu of taxes for the property that we manage here in the county. The amount this year is $9,160.27. I believe it's similar to the check that we have presented in past years for the properties that we have. Just wanted to talk real briefly just about the funding that we have from the division. Much of this comes from hunters and anglers and license and permit sales. We use that money largely to manage wildlife as well as the properties that we hold. So we appreciate your support in holding property here and also managing it. It's very beneficial to the wildlife species here in the county. We have a lot of our big game species utilize these properties, waterfowl, pheasants, as well as hunters and anglers. We get a lot of people going to these properties to participate in hunting and angling activities, as well as biking, hiking, and other forms of recreation. So we appreciate your partnership and everything that you work with us on, and we hope we can continue that partnership in the future.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you guys and what you do too. Does anyone have any questions or anything that,
He's probably got it, don't you?
Yep, so I've got the
actually
check
have the
here. and I
check, you can hand it to our clerk,
Okay, perfect.
if that would be okay.
Okay, yep, thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you, Blair.
You want to ask the crowd if anyone else wants to give us money?
Yeah,
Come
is there anyone
forward.
else
Is it
with a
like
check?
a big check that we can all stand and
Put
take
you
a
away
picture?
at the front of the agenda.
Okay. Okay, Matt and Mark, we're gonna talk, do you wanna talk first, Mark, or do you want Matt to?
I think we can just turn it over to Matt for
Okay.
a brief summary.
This year, at the direction of the Appropriations Committee felt that it would be appropriate to put the annual county audit out for bid. Jones Simpkins has been providing that. We haven't asked them to rebid that for a number of years. So we did an RFP. We had 3 firms respond. Jones Simpkins responded, as did Squire and Company, and Salt Lake-based firm Larson. The Appropriations Committee met last month and reviewed all 3 bids. And based on factors that they discussed there, one of which being the price, Jones Simpkins was the low bid. The Appropriations Committee recommended that to you, that you approve Jones Simpkins to be our auditor for the next 5 years.
Okay, does anyone have any questions for Matt?
I have a question. Is there an industry standard on how often we rotate through?
There is for companies that are on the NASDAQ or that are publicly traded, but otherwise, no.
Okay, thanks.
Anybody else?
Kind of to that point, Will, we do have intent, remind us all how long the contract is.
This contract is a 5-year contract. We asked them to bid that out. Now, of course, there is a clause in there legislatively that if you do not approve those funds, that you can always opt out of that. But we've asked them to, and they have bid a 5-year timeframe.
Okay, does anybody else have questions, or I would accept a motion to accept this recommendation?
We'll make a motion, we accept the external audit proposal and award accept Jones Simpkins bid and use them as our auditors.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Okay, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, Matt. Okay, Alma.
Thank you. I'm just going to go over a recommendation from the Appropriations Committee. I went to the Appropriations Committee on November 24th and presented to them the status of all of the projects that were funded with ARPA. There were 76 projects that you approved and were awarded money. 59 of those have been completed. So we're down to 17 of those that need to be finished up. A lot of them will be finished up this year, but some of them will go into next year. Statutorily, we have until December 31st of 2026 to spend those monies, and it takes a little bit of time. And so I presented to the Appropriations Committee and asked if I could get support to contact some of them that had not been spending out the money. And it was discussed and decided to make the recommendation from the Appropriations Committee to the council that if significant progress was not made by March 31st of 2026, that we need to, we would need to pull those funds back and reclassify and re-award those to another project that's eligible so that we can spend out the money by December 31st of 2026. So I wanted to present that to you. And
Do we need to make a motion on that, Andrew, to accept that?
First of all, I want to thank, the email that you sent out, I thought was it was very good and detailed and really, descriptive as to what was happening.
okay,
And with that, I move to support the Appropriations Committee's recommendation that was outlined in that email as well as with Alma.
okay.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the recommendation of the Appropriations Committee to expect significant progress on these projects by March 31st, or else we will take a second look at those.
Okay.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, Alma. Okay, Andrew.
There we are.
Good evening, Council. So this item is in regards to the meeting schedule for the county council next year, as well as the noticing of the county office holiday schedule. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom that in so you can see a little bit more. I believe the only thing of discussion here would be for the meeting dates of the county council. Me and Amy have gone over the office dates, the state mandates that offices be closed, so that section should be good, but in regards to your actual meeting schedule, that is something that you guys set, and maybe to the dismay of some council members, you guys do have to meet twice a month. But as per usual, you guys are listed on this proposed schedule to meet the second and fourth Tuesdays of each month, with the exceptions in, I believe it was February, November, and December. The change for November was just due to Thanksgiving. The change in December was trying to finish up the council year early. And in February, there is some events going on that we may need to plan around.
Well, that one was at my request. I have been asked by UAC to attend the NACO conference, which is during it would be when our meeting is, and so I asked Andrew if we could have that discussion, if we could change our February dates to the 10th and the 17th, so that I could be able to attend that conference.
I just had, that's one comment.
Okay?
November, I looked at the dates and the 7th is a Saturday. And we didn't give ourselves a raise this year and ain't no way I'm coming in on a Saturday.
I don't have my phone with me. Is that correct?
Seventh is a
Tuesday would be the
Saturday.
Yeah.
10th and the
It would be
20th.
the 10th and the
Or
17th.
10th and 17th, yeah.
10th and 17th.
I must have been using this year's calendar, I apologize.
Yeah,
No problem.
10th and 17th?
yeah.
Gotcha.
What about the rest of the dates? Are they,
I was gonna say, yes.
okay.
There's only those 3 months that I made any adjustments towards.
Yeah, I checked the other ones, they were good.
Okay. All right, does anyone want to make a motion about that?
I'll make a motion that we approve this with the amended dates of November changing to the 10th and the 17th.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve this council meeting schedule for next year. Is there further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
Don't we approve the
days off?
days off?
All at one, yeah, the holiday.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I
it's
think
more
we
than
approved the
just-
holiday schedule as well.
Should we redo the motion or do a second
No, we
motion?
can have a separate motion.
Yeah, we can do a
it's fine.
separate motion. Will someone make a motion about the county holidays that have been
Just a
presented?
second.
I'll make a motion, we approve the listed holidays for the county.
Second.
Was that what was needed?
Okay,
So wait, Juneteenth is like a Friday, but we're gonna celebrate it on the 15th,
That's per
on
state
a
code.
Monday?
This is always a tricky one. It is observed federally on the actual day, so on June 19th. However, Utah State Code says that it would be observed on the Friday prior to that, or sorry, the Monday prior to that if it falls on a Friday. So the state government will be closed on Monday the 15th, which is one of the reasons why the council approved that we observe Juneteenth, because our attorney's office and our DMV wouldn't be able to conduct business that day. However, it does pose an interesting thing when banks are closed and everything else. So there you have it.
does that coincide with the payday again?
It does.
It does, okay. So at least we'll maybe look
We-
ahead and.
We are prepared and looking ahead. The auditor's office has already had a staff meeting and prepared for that. So.
Okay. All right, so Nolan, we had a motion and a second. Okay, those in favor of accepting the holiday schedule, would you please say aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Thank you.
Next year, can we make the holidays some of the same days as our council meetings? Ties in better.
Let's work on that.
Work on that.
We still have to have 2 every month unless we change that ordinance.
Work on that too.
Yeah, we can work on that.
Okay, tax relief hardships. Diana,
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You have before you two hardships. If we can start with the one ending in 0045, you've got those in your media packet? This one comes to the council with a recommendation to deny based on non-compliance with information requests, like no financial information, a lot of extra deposits through Utah Locavore, which is like a year-round online farmers market. So where she didn't bring all of her information, we're not able to recommend any tax relief.
Okay,
I move that we recommend this for denial due to lack of financial disclosures.
Second.
it's been moved and seconded that we deny the tax relief application the property ends in 0045. That we deny that. It's been moved and seconded. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay.
Moving on to parcel ending with 0020. This one completed all disclosures. She comes in at the 25,446, which would make her eligible for a 29% abatement if granted by the council, and that is our recommendation.
Okay, so we'll make a motion about that one, or do you have any questions for Diana?
I move to approve aforementioned hardship.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the tax relief for property ending in 0020. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
For 29%.
For 29%, thank you.
And you have your signatory pages there. If
I've
you'll
got
just pass them off to Bryson so he can fully execute them and then get them back to me.
All right.
Appreciate you, appreciate all your service.
Pass that to you, Diana. Okay, it's time for public hearings. I guess it's close enough. Angie.
Yes, this one, Angie Zetterquist, Interim Director of Development Services. This one will look familiar to you. It is being brought back due to a procedural error. We had the incorrect legal description as part of the ordinance. But this is the SBA UT 24138B Paradise Rezone. Just as a reminder, it's just north of Paradise. And again, the yellow dot represents the approximately 2,500 square foot area where that public infrastructure overlay would be applied. Again, previously we had the wrong legal description. Then when we thought we had the right one, we had our GIS department confirm it and it was still off of it. So we do have the correct legal description for the area that they want to apply the overlay. This will allow them to apply for a conditional use permit in order to construct a telecommunications facility. So that is the basics. It is consistent with the purpose of the public infrastructure overlay. We did receive one comment from Paradise because it didn't meet their design guidelines and they prefer building mounted antennas. But other than that, public hearing, Planning Commission did approve it on a 6-0 vote on September 4th. So we're just looking towards your approval or denial on that rezone request.
Does anyone have any questions for Angie?
After.
Is there anyone here from the public that would like to speak to this project? Is the proponent here? This is your time to speak to us.
He did send a message to, oh, you are here, okay. I know he had a delayed flight, so I wasn't sure if he'd make it.
Any questions regarding this
State
again?
your name
My name is
first.
Ben Feldman.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions for?
It's a public hearing.
It's a public hearing. It's time for you to speak to us if you'd like.
I'm just here again. I mean, we had the error, so just back in front of you guys again to see if we can get it approved like we did last time.
Okay. All right, thank you. Is there anyone else here from the public that would like to speak to us regarding this project? Okay, take a motion.
Move to close the public hearing.
Second.
It's moved and seconded that we close public hearing. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. All right. It's time, Angie, come on back. Yeah, that's the next one on the list.
Yes, actually, this one I'm gonna turn over to Chris Sands.
No, we have to vote, we have to vote on that one.
On
That's the first one.
rezone, the Paradise
If
rezone.
you have any questions on that, just let me know.
Yeah, does anyone have any questions before we take a motion on that one?
I just wonder how we got proper descriptions wrong twice. I just hope that's.
I think it only happened once.
Once?
Yeah, and then, but we, that was before, the day before we passed it, and I believe it was sent to Andrew right before the meeting started.
Okay.
And so, that's what
Yeah, and we.
now it's all corrected and,
changed our procedures, so we'll make sure that those legals are correct before it ever gets to planning commission.
I believe last time you made the comment, there weren't a lot of buildings out there to put
No.
an antenna on.
Nothing that high,
Yeah.
which I like.
Yeah.
I will suspend the rules and recommend we approve ordinance 2025-28, SBA UT 24-138-B, Paradise Rezone.
Second.
it's been moved and seconded that we approve ordinance 2025-28. Is there any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, now on to the next one.
Okay, and now I will introduce Christopher Sands, who is the chair of the Cache Open Space Advisory Committee. He is doing a presentation on a round one open space application.
Thanks, Angie. And all credit for this presentation goes to Angie in pulling this together for us. So I'll just take a couple minutes of your time, but COSAC is very pleased to be making this recommendation for first round approval to the County Council on the Vivian Christensen LLC open space. We have just a handful of slides here just to touch on the key factors that we looked at and considered about this project. So this is located just north of Richmond and is immediately north of the new grain silos up there north of Pepperidge Farm. So that gives you an idea of where we're at. It is part of the North Gateway into Cache Valley, which is a strategic area for us and our focus. The Christensen family wants to continue with the agricultural operation. There's a lot of new development pressure in and around them, and so they're interested in protecting the property in perpetuity. A variety of crops are produced there. You can see on the list. We are at this point in the process at the end of the first round approval with our unanimous recommendation to the council. This is a quick summary of the review factors that we always look at. Each project is scored on a scale of 100. That's the breakdown of the point factors that each committee member evaluates in this scoring. And this project, as you'll see, represents the highest scoring project that has come before us by 0.2 points, just higher than Elkhorn Ranch. And so this gives a quick summary. The total score was 71.6. There were 8 committee members that scored the proposal, so this is an average of all of those totals. And then there's a comparison with 2 other projects that have actually gone through round 2 approvals and what they were awarded through this program. And those projects are still in the works. They haven't finalized. These projects do take time, often a couple of years, but they are making progress and both of those other projects have received outside funding. And so that's just in the due diligence phase. Sure.
Have they been able to explore the possibility of other funding?
Yes, this one, the Christiansens, yes, they have other funding, and I'll mention that here in a couple of slides, so I'll just touch on that.
Sorry, I jumped the gun.
Nope, that's okay.
How many acres are we talking about?
334 acres about. Yeah, it's a great project. So in the scenic vistas, of course, the project is immediately adjacent to Highway 91 and actually has properties on both sides of the highway that are visible from the entire length of the highway through this portion of the county. It is within the gateway, so it scored very high. I'll just back up for a second. 12.75 was the average score for this one out of 15. 12.38, it's in the gateway area. There are some intervening parcels in certain portions of it, so that's probably why I didn't get the full 15 points, I would guess. Maintaining agriculture, of course, very high score here, 14.9 basically out of 15. It's great productive farmland, and you'll see with the map I'll show in a minute. The maintained waterways, although it doesn't have actual stream corridors through the property, there is a little bit of floodplain, but it utilizes, as you can see, water from High Creek, which borders the northern boundary of the property. So although it doesn't go through, this project is immediately adjacent to the floodplain on High Creek, as well as the Cub River to the west. And so there's definitely some related value there, although it's well below the high score of 15. Wildlife habitat, it got 10 out of 15 for this. A lot of game species inhabit the property, as you can see from the list there. The public access score was low just because this is not identified as a trail corridor through the property. The landowners have allowed hunting access in the past and will continue to do that. But what you can see from the trail map there is that several planned trail corridors pass immediately adjacent to the properties, whether that's the old rail corridor, Highway 91, or the road and canal to the east of the property. And so anyone using those future trails will benefit from this project. Some of the distinguishing factors, the last category there that COSAC members wanted to mention here, back to your question, Catherine, is they have been awarded Lee Ray McAllister funds so far. There's an NRCS application pending, and they should find out about that in the next couple of months, I think. So they have made application. They are represented by the Utah Agricultural Land Trust, which is a local land trust organization that has brought a number of projects to us recently, and we're grateful for their active participation in the program and connecting with landowners who are interested in putting conservation easements on their property. And so there's development pressure, which was noted, and there's also public open space immediately nearby in the form of Richmond City's baseball park at the southwest corner of the property, as well as it's next to Casper's, and so you can enjoy Fat Boy while viewing the property. So next steps, obviously, is just to have you folks vote on this. This is part of the drone footage that one of our committee members, Justin Clausen, was able to capture of the property. Just goes for a minute or so here, but any other questions I can answer that haven't already been asked?
How close is this to the Harris property that we saw before?
It is
pretty
about
close, isn't it?
half a mile. The southern boundary is probably about a half a mile to a mile from Harris. So it's like the Harris is on the next road, major road, east-west road to the south of this property. So not too far away. And in that regard, we've already been talking to other landowners between those two who are also expressing interest in applying for the program. So it's pretty exciting. I see a nexus of projects happening in this portion of the county, which is great. It's our North Gateway. It's it's, you know, a remaining classic view of the landscape in Cache Valley, so.
Will you briefly remind everyone what approving round one unlocks?
So what happens with round one is there is interest on behalf of the county to find out more about the project. So this really triggers the landowners and their Land Conservancy group to do their due diligence and provide us more detailed information, such as matching funds that have already been procured or are being pursued. How much funding are they looking for from the county on this project? How much the landowner donation is going to be? What's the appraisal? Those kinds of things. So we'll be coming back to you. This project seems to be moving rather quickly, so I think you'll see us in the near future with round two.
Any other questions for Chris?
And round two is where there would actually be a request with a dollar amount.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct. So our recommendation to the council in round two will come with a dollar amount attached and sort of the full budget of the project, so you can see the other funding that's available and as well as the county's portion.
Cool. This is awesome.
It is.
It's a great project. So
Yeah.
we're very excited.
Well done, guys.
Yeah. I'd accept a motion on this.
I would so move that we suspend the rules and pass resolution 2025-48, Vivian Christensen LLC open space application at round one.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve resolution 2025-48. Is there any further discussion?
I have a question.
Okay.
Have they, we haven't had tons of applications. So far, is the feedback that it feels cumbersome, or has it felt like they've been able to get through quickly and?
Honestly, I haven't heard any complaints about our process.
Good.
There's so much to do on the landowner's behalf to secure other funding, and that's really what drags on and is a lot of red tape. So far, I know that Elkhorn Ranch is in that last step due diligent phase, and so coming to the county with an agreement, that sort of thing, I don't think all of that process has fully completed yet, and so what remains to be seen if there are any concerns from the applicants on the process, but we haven't heard anything so far.
Okay, thank you.
I think we could probably vote on this, but before Chris leaves, I'd love an update on when they're gonna send out the mailers that we approved too. Maybe
Let's
an
vote
update
on that motion first,
Yep.
and then we can do that. Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve resolution 2025-48. Any further discussion on that motion? Those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, yeah, I think that's an excellent question.
Yeah, at our last meeting, what we discussed is, obviously, we're in the middle of this holiday period, and we didn't want the mailer to get mixed up with general mail and all the kind of mail we get at this time of year, and so we are prepared to send out the mailer after the first of the year.
Great.
Yeah, we'll provide you an update at that time.
Okay, thank you, Chris.
Okay, thanks.
All right, Bryson, you're up.
Alrighty, this one's it's very brief. So this privacy program is required by the state. The state passed a law about 2 years ago requiring all government entities to have a data privacy program. So I am now the Chief Administrative Officer of the record, so I'm in charge of the data privacy program, and the county just needs to adopt it. So this privacy program was a template from the state, which was really nice that they gave us this template. So it's kind of plug and play, I guess, to say, like, just make Cache Countyify it, and I would be up to the state standards. I also want to add, with data privacy, is just letting it, like, we have a data privacy program because of all the records of information that we'll be holding. These are still going to be protected records under GRAMA, but like I said, there's no data privacy program in the county, so we've got to adopt it. Yeah.
Okay.
Any questions?
Anybody have any questions for Bryson?
It's been through OMP and through the attorney's office. We've been working on this since like April of this year.
Okay, I would entertain a motion.
Move to suspend the rules and approve resolution 2025-49.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve Resolution 2025-49, adopting a privacy program policy as part of the Cache County Administrative Code. Any further discussion? Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'll abstain because I didn't have time to read over it.
Okay,
Awesome, thank you.
thanks, Bryson. Okay, 10A, Resolution 2025-43, approving and adopting the 2025 Cache County budget. Matt, you want to come up and help give us some guidance?
Let's push it off a week.
Council members, Matthew Funk, Cache County Auditor. The budget that was, we have presented included the few updates that you had asked for last week. Otherwise is unchanged. Can I answer any further questions about it?
I had one question that, and I don't know that you can answer this specifically, but it's about the employee benefits line in the council budget. It's less in 26 than it was in 25. And I know that the benefits line is kind of a tricky one. It's one that we don't get a lot of detail for, but it should be just our one employee from 25 and then the same in 26. So I don't know why those benefits would be less in 26 than they are in 25. So I questioned that amount.
I've got Brittany here. We can take a look at that. This has come up a couple of times in the last few days where we've had benefits budgets that are lower in 26 and 25. We've seen that on a couple of line items. I know Councilman Garrity had asked about some of those. And what we had found in the 2025 budget is that we had over budgeted for the expected, beyond the expected, the expenses that we were going to face. So we have in 2026 in a couple of areas reduced the 2026 benefits below what 2025 was, because 2025 was just too high.
Okay, thank you. That was just one of the questions I had. I know that several council members have some things they wanted to discuss. I don't know who wants to start.
I'll just bring up the two that I had. One, we had an update presented or considered a change to what was recommended initially on the public defenders funding. And it looks like the document that we have working here does not yet include that additional 50,000.
I think it does.
We did include that. I apologize if that.
Yeah, it's there, Mark. It's right here. It was on the professional and technical.
Oh, okay. I'm just looking at the overall expenditures, and
Yeah.
I was thinking that number should be 1.5 million or just about, and it's listed at 1.4 now, 1.45.
Now it's listed at 1.503.
Okay, forgive me then. I just came across this portion here. So then the only other thing would be the discussion we need to have about the status or funding of the library.
The library.
And so if we're ready for it now, I'd propose that we reinstitute the funding for the library for 2026 and give the process that we've been undertaking of accreditation and then the doors that opens up for the library to find additional funding sources and become more of a self-sustaining venture that we hope it could be. If we were to stop now, we'd be cutting that that's been short by the final year for the accreditation. And also, with the community outreach and engagement that has come by way of the good discussion. I think it's been a good discussion to have for what the interest is in our community for a county library. Some sort of funding going forward. I certainly stand in support of, as well as reaching out and accepting and finding the right way, meaning the library board become informed, fully engaged in the effort to work with volunteers, to seek out fundraising opportunities, et cetera. So, Anyway, my proposal is we continue the Cache County Library for 2026.
Do you want to make that as, I think we need to take these items one at a time and make motions on them so that we don't
Sure.
get things complicated. So what would your exact motion be, that we increase the county library budget from the 134,600 that is proposed to what?
Is the 134 the 6 months that we?
That matches the 6 months that was in what the executive proposed to us last week and what we've thrown around, or not thrown around, but what we've considered in conversation. You know, I'm certainly grateful that we've moved in that direction, and I would like to, you know, proceed with that being kind of our base. You know, if we want to give the accreditation effort its full weight, then I do think that means we should proceed with funding for the entirety of the year. And then look at this strategy and the conversation engagement again for 2027. So yes, my suggestion is to take it so that we would be funding the library at the same funding as last year of $235,904.
I'll second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we make an amendment to the budget for the library fund from 134,600 to 235,904. Is there any further discussion about that?
I would like to ask a question.
Okay.
So if we go back to what the executive proposed and we finance it for 6 months, we get to 5 months and find things aren't going, we could entertain an opening of the budget to continue it at that time, could we not?
Yes.
Certainly could. Yep.
And I like that, just because, based on, I believe it was Mrs. DeFries who proposed before on the libraries and things. I was kind of excited at her excitement about doing some things there, and I wonder if we follow what the executive said and give Mrs. DeFries a chance, would that get us anywhere, and we monitor that for 5 months? I'm just open for discussion on that. I thought that to be interesting.
Barbara, did you want to say something?
It goes along with what Nolan just said. I was wondering, if we do this in the future, is there going to be any kind of action taken to see that the library board or whatever is moving towards self-sustaining in the future?
Just a point of clarification, the budget presented this evening on page 54, I don't see has any money allocated to the library.
The council column, I think, does, right?
Hang on, I'm getting there. My printed version does, but.
What am I seeing here?
Page 54 on mine is the fair. Oh, there's library
There it is.
services.
We did have a Google Sheets that was sent out to us.
But this is the official one that we're adopting, so I just want to make sure the official one that we're adopting.
That's the Google Sheets that was sent out to us here lately did have the latest
It
changes.
does have the 234 on it. It just doesn't have last year's. It has what we are,
So here's the 2025 estimate, 2026 tentative, and 2026 council, or 0.
you're correct.
So,
The document that we have in our packet is not the document that was emailed to us.
Does not have the half funding.
Fair, you guys never made a motion to amend. That was never formally voted on.
Yeah, he just sent that to us on Friday, so we
We
had
asked
had a
Matt,
meeting.
we asked
since
Matt to make those differences and bring them to us for this meeting. This is,
because this one has to reflect, this is the one that's adopting the ones in our packet, is the one
yeah,
that
this is
has
the
to
one we
reflect.
want.
You see, you guys can motion to amend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which we have a motion on the floor. to
So the
do.
motion on the floor is the amount,
Is the
is
matches for
235,904.
Last year.
Yeah.
But
Okay, so it's been moved and seconded that we change the library budget back to the 2025 amount. Is there any further discussion about that?
Does anybody have an answer to my question of, say, in the future of how, if there's going to be a direction moving where we make the library self-sustaining without the county monies? on it, or is there any plans for that?
Yes.
Well, yeah, so, I mean, the plan has been for the last couple of years, you know, after the library board discontinued the effort of looking at changing locations. Then the effort shifted fully to the accreditation, which had been ongoing already, you know, but then into, efforts to improve the operations of the library. One big step like was undertaken when this body adopted the current contract to set things in order for the current state or the way things had been operating, because there was not a base agreement to back all that up. So getting that in place then now has given the foundation for the library board to formally move forward with several things. You know, so the very next step would be an update to the bylaws regarding some of the changes that were outlined in that contract. With the way things are broken down for responsibilities, as well as the board membership itself. And then secondarily, in line with the accreditation, which opens up funding opportunities for the library through state library grant funds, which will shoulder a big portion of these costs, as well as then there are other opportunities as well that accreditation opens up. And so those efforts are well underway, but we've also been, Alma just left, he would be the one to give the full detailed answer on this, but he and I have been in conversation about working together on grant applications, and which include also coming to RAPS. The library falls under, is eligible for RAPS funding, but more specifically, I'm interested in how we can establish fundraisers and how that has to be coordinated with the library being a government entity, and we have to learn how to do that fundraising efforts under the Cash Cares nonprofit portion that the state has made available to counties or local government entities. So those are the efforts that have been underway and will continue regardless of what the conversation is tonight, so long as there is some sort of funding for next year.
Okay, thank you, I appreciate that.
Madam Chair, can I
Yes.
make a substitute motion?
Yes.
That we follow the executive's plan and monitor for a few months so we can see if it goes. If we accept the motion that's on the table now, then we're engaging further. I'm just wondering if we go follow the executive's motion, then it may put pressure to go faster. I don't know. I'm just saying I would make a motion that we follow that and monitor for the 6 months as was proposed.
I'll second that.
Okay, I think
That's
we, I
amending the main
think,
motion,
is,
basically.
It's amending it.
yeah, is it amending the main motion? But it's a substitute motion because Mark's motion was seconded, so I think we need to vote on that first, and then you can make. Oh,
Now the substitute
If it fails, you go back to the
comes
original.
first.
okay,
You go back to the original.
all right.
Are we done discussing Mark's motion?
My biggest thing is I just don't want a break in service to affect the accreditation. I mean, then they have to, it's back to square one. So that's what I'm the most concerned about.
Agreed. The other thing I'll say is, I think probably at least one council member should speak on behalf of all the people that came and made their public comment, and if that person is me, then
All the public comment and the letters and the emails and the phone calls and the texts, I mean, I don't know if anybody's received more than me. I've had probably, if I counted them all, it would be in the hundreds. So yeah, I will speak to that. I've had hundreds of people reach out to me in favor of the library.
I think if we want to involve the public in the process, and that was really their main focus, and if they had one wish, it would probably be that. I'd like to acknowledge that. I think the other thing is, I know everything goes into a giant bucket and takes out of a giant bucket, but I do want to point out that our salary increase was budgeted, and we didn't vote for that, and so that did add $144,000 to the general fund.
Okay.
True.
My thoughts are that I agree with Catherine. I don't want to interrupt the service or the accreditation process, but I also think that for budgetary reasons, I would support funding the library for the first 6 months, knowing that things will be talked about and changes will happen, and if we need to, we can open the budget again in June and discuss further, like if we're happy with the direction it's going, or there's further discussions that can be made with that.
And that's why I made it, it gives us some alternatives or some options to plan down the road, so.
Well, let's vote on Mark's motion first, because Mark made a motion and
Well, we
Keegan.
vote, the
Oh,
substitute
so the
motion is the one on the
Yeah,
table.
substitute.
Substitute before the original.
Substitute before-
Thank you.
if it
I need a
fails,
parliamentarian to sit next to me. Okay, so the substitute motion is that we follow the recommendations of the executive and do the funding for the first 6 months
In the amount of,
in the amount of $134,600. And did someone second Nolan's motion? David did. Okay, so that motion is on the table. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Nay.
Okay. All right, so that one passes. And now we need to clarify what we are looking at. Like, this is important, because we were given, this was the tentative budget we were given, and then we talked about some changes last week that were emailed to us, but do we need to make motions for each one of those changes that were made individually from the tentative budget? Like, we can't just accept the second document that we were emailed on Friday, Matt, I don't think counts as a substitute, or as a tentative budget. Will someone, maybe Taylor, someone help me make sure that we're all looking at because what we have in our packet does not include the changes that were emailed to us on Friday.
Yeah, and that took me by surprise, and I'm not a parliamentarian, but yes, the changes that you requested last Tuesday were all made and sent on Friday, and so that was, my assumption was what we would be talking about tonight.
But that's not what we have in our packet, and so to me, that's a problem, because this is what was sent to the public, and so anything that we pass has to be changed.
this is what's the ordinance that is being approved tonight.
It's like the public works section that got modified, for example.
Yeah, so Matt, I would ask that you and Brittany walk us through every change that you made that was emailed to us on Friday, so that we can vote on them, because they're not in our packet. And I apologize for that. I had a printed copy, so that's what I was going on. I didn't look at the packet on the iPad. But we have to be very careful about what we do.
So, the following changes were
I think if you displayed them, that would be fine.
Yeah, could you?
I think if you just displayed it, it would be fine.
Could you put them up on
That
the?
would be sufficient.
That little list, it's not as big as we think.
Yeah, I don't
think
think
if it was just displayed, that would be sufficient.
Yeah, it
And
affected the council
it
budget.
It enters the record and it can be changed for.
Okay.
I think, do you think that's
Yeah,
sufficient?
that's sufficient to me. I just want to make sure we're very clear about what we're doing here.
Switch Howard to you.
Like, we all need to be going on the same document.
Well, we're
While he's
pulling.
doing that.
Yeah, hey, go ahead.
I'm going to put this to Mark. How do we involve Mrs. DeFries, who said in our last meeting she would be so engaged in the library that would help us in this 6-month thing? Does that make sense?
So we'd love to invite her to our next board meeting, have her come and visit and share ideas, and then also we would have a discussion about how fundraising would work, volunteerism, coordination would work, and all those things. Again, that's kind of stuff that this current iteration of the board is having to learn how to do, because it's not something that the library board in the past has established. So, yeah, publicly throw it out there. I have not yet been able to find her phone number, but if.
I gave her your phone number. Did she not call you?
I have not heard
Okay,
from her.
I have her number. I will give it to you.
Oh, perfect. Okay, then.
So if we can engage her as early as possible, that just helps our success of meeting that
Absolutely.
6 months, I believe. So,
Yep.
sorry.
No, great. That's,
No, I-
any questions about that's perfect, because the effort, we need to keep the momentum that we have about people being engaged.
Definitely.
I was just gonna publicly thank Matt. I asked him questions about 20 different categories and several questions within those categories, and he answered me very quickly and thoroughly, and I learned a lot of things, and I think it's important to look at nuance. So one of them was like the clerk's budget was a little bit higher, and I said, well, I think that's because there's a federal election coming up, but can you speak to that? So he was able to clarify that, as well as a multitude of other issues. You guys probably saw software increased across the board in several different departments. A lot of that had to do with ARPA funding being rolled back. So a lot of times when we talk about cutting federal budgets or state budgets, that gets people excited, but a lot of those services still need to be paid for, and so it falls on a county or a municipality. Thanks, Matt.
So before you have the changes that you requested. These are in the form of a journal entry. So we've got double entry. I'm just going to address. I'm going to start from the bottom and move up.
I think I believe we've all gone through these to save a little bit of time. I think we went through all those, and you guys remember these? I remember very vivid that was talking about all of these as we went through them. And with that, to save your time and ours, because we appreciate, because I know the attempt was made, and therefore I would move that we go ahead and accept these changes into our current budget.
And I will second that.
Yep. Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we accept the changes that are displayed into our current budget, and those are found, if you want to make sure you're looking at them, they are found in the email that Matt sent out last Friday evening. And so is there any further discussion about that motion?
I just haven't put in an awkward position of I opposed the library thing and now it's included in this, so I don't necessarily want to vote against the whole thing, so could we exclude that in our motion?
No, this is just bringing them in.
Just bringing
We've already
them in,
passed
not-
it.
So that's,
That
yeah,
item's
that's
already
already what
passed,
we're
this is just bringing it
suggesting.
into the
To the
budget,
official
Yes.
budget document.
the one that's in the media packet.
Okay, thanks
Okay.
for that clarification.
Any
Thanks to
any
Catherine for picking that up on some
further
things.
discussion?
Was there any additional input, Matt and Brittany?
No,
Dave's motion?
as I think Councilman Erickson pointed out, these are just the sum total of the changes that you requested. I'd be happy to answer any questions if there are any.
Brittany has one.
But if all of these are accepted into the budget, then we also need to update the tax admin allocations. So this tab would be those changes for tax admin.
Okay.
Because there were changes to the council wages.
At their percentages, right?
Yeah.
That precipitates.
I would go ahead and add that to that amendment that we accept both of those. Or to that motion to accept both of those.
Second?
Just say it still stands.
Okay.
Still stands.
Okay, so it's been moved and seconded that we accept these changes into the budget that we are considering tonight. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, I just wanted to make sure we were
Thanks.
very clear about what we're passing.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. I just remember going through all these, and I just didn't want to hold everybody up with what time that we have, so.
Okay, all right, so we talked about the library, we've got that done. Who has some other amendments that they would like to consider?
I have a couple here. One would be on the council budget, under the subscriptions and membership, which is 210, 4112, 210. I would like to increase that by $1,000 so that we can maintain our membership in Public Lands Council for the state.
Is that the one we do each year?
Yeah.
Yes.
That keeps getting left
And we
off?
keep having, we keep
Yeah,
having.
we
to
keep
review
talking
the
about it
budget
later,
every-
and so I thought if we put it in the budget, then we can just go ahead and get it taken care of.
I will second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we increase in the council budget line 100-4112-210 by $1,000 to account for the wildlife fund.
No,
Public lands.
the public lands fund.
Sorry, public lands fund that we contribute to every year.
Yep.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay.
Then also under, is it equipment and supplies, or is it capital? You mentioned one other one.
We don't even have a non.
I thought it'd be under equipment and supplies that we would increase that one, $7,000, so that we can actually get us all some, I guess, get rid of these things.
The dinosaurs.
Get us some laptops that would work and be more functional, if it's possible. Yes. Well, no, then we'd have to go eight,
From
we'd
your
have
own
to go one
budget.
more
Stick to your own
thousand,
budget.
8,000.
Does it?
Well, it's for council only. We can put yours in the executive.
If
We
you'd
can
like
increase
to
yours.
include yours.
Please.
Okay.
Yes.
I will
understand.
remind the group that the executive did say he did not need more than 125,000 for this
Okay.
position.
I'll
So-
second that
okay.
motion, Dave.
Thank you.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded.
Is the motion for
Just for the
increasing ours
count.
and the executive?
Just the council
Just the
now,
council.
just the council.
Thank you for clarifying.
Yes,
$7,000?
yes.
I hope that'll cover it.
Yeah.
It should.
I think
It should.
I think
I
it's
think it'd be
ample. I
plenty,
think it
yeah.
can, I think it'll be less.
Yeah, I think it'd be less than that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we increase the line 14112-250 by $7,000. Any further discussion about that? Those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed?
In the executive's budget, I had one that we had talked about yours, about that city managers association stuff. There was 3,200 in there. Do you want us to reallocate that to equipment?
What I'd like you to do is make it a general fund. I find myself paying for certain things that I think it would be, for example, the luncheon I'm providing for the legislative group
Yeah.
this next week.
Did you get my email? I emailed you and said we would pay for it out of the council budget, and I sent it to you and Janine and said what line. Anyway,
I
we'll
acknowledge
take care of
that. I think if you just gave me a little bit of a slush fund, like $3,200, it would help me carry out my duties.
So could we move that up to the
Then
miscellaneous line?
I would move that from the city manager association to the hated miscellaneous services.
That would be ideal.
Okay.
I do hate that.
I do
We
too.
all hate that one.
We all
Say
hate
there's something in
miscellaneous.
miscellaneous.
We don't like to say slush fund.
Yeah. Call it miscellaneous services.
Does that cover the laptop?
Would that cover the
Would that cover the laptop? Or should we take 1,000 of that and put it into the equipment,
Okay.
supplies, and maintenance?
Okay, so, does someone want to make that motion, please?
I did.
Okay, that did somebody second that motion? Okay, it's been moved and seconded that in the executive's budget, line 14131-622, we take out the $3,200 and move it to the 620 line miscellaneous. Does that work for you, Matt? Okay. Is there any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Was there, while we're on the executive budget, was there anything else that you needed us to consider? Okay. That's,
Okay, I have one, well, I have another one this is under Auditor 2, the fund for, and this is, I'm not sure how this can be balanced. Matt, I've talked with you about this in the hiring of someone that will be full-time into the tax admin.
was
to-
that added to this document?
Not yet.
That was not
Okay.
voted on.
I think the estimate was on there was gonna be 86,000, but yet, maybe, I guess I'm hoping that maybe the shuffle of some part-times and seasonal and stuff could be lessened by bringing another full-time in to start gleaning that knowledge.
That would be somebody that's pairing right up with Diana, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
We need
Exactly.
somebody
To learn
trained
that
what she
institutional
has, so.
Yeah.
It's a succession plan.
Exactly.
Gleaning some of that.
So I'm asking, I guess their estimate we thought was, of which that 86,000, 86% of it would actually go to A and C. But how that would be funded is through A and C, and then 14% possibly out of general fund. But I don't know how these other part-time and seasonals are also being financed. I guess,
So what
I
you're
wish I could
proposing,
put it in there and then the magic be made.
what you're proposing then is an increase to salaries and benefits, or just salaries of 86 plus amount for benefits.
But then somehow, I want to see some of the other season, or the part-timers, stuff like that, that may not be needed. I
Understood.
want that balance.
We can do that.
I wish I had an exact number on that, though.
I have a question, Matt. In this document that you emailed us on Friday, there is just one section that says the auditor. It says the total auditor. And in the tentative budget, there's an auditor 1 and an auditor 2. It doesn't appear to me that both are included in this document together. Is there 2 sections that are not together that I'm just?
Tentative budget, auditor 1, auditor 2 refer to finance as a division.
Finance.
And auditor. In the budget you have, they're referred to as finance and auditor.
Okay, that clears that up, because I do have a finance section. I just didn't see that there's 2 auditor sections. Okay. So it would just be to the auditor budget, we're going to add a part-time person, or is it a full-time?
Well, we'd add a full-time and
Eliminate the
Can we bleed
seasonal?
out the part-time?
and eliminate some of the part-time and seasonal to offset that full-time as much as possible. I don't think you're gonna be able to do it all. I think you're gonna probably have anywhere from $11,000 to $17,000 difference.
So then what I would propose with that understanding is then let's do the increase of $86,000 with the understanding that I will work with Diana to cut as much as possible, so there's as little overlap as possible.
Would that motion be okay in saying it that way? There's gonna be a little bit of faith in this to get this balance, though.
In order to get her a trainee, I would go this way. I'd like to see some cutback, but we don't know how that's gonna go for a while, I guess, or what's in there.
Yeah, it's a situation where when Diana is out for vacation or surgery, the office has to close, because there's, a lot of times, there's no one that can deal with the public, and so.
Clerk, or I think you just collect things for her, or whatever it is, or that's
think it's
it, but no questions are answered. Yeah.
Okay, so the motion is that we add a full-time employee to the auditor's budget of up to $86,000 and for 2026, and then you guys will work out all the gory details.
Is that including benefits or?
That would probably include benefits at that point, starting it out possibly.
Amy's nodding her
If
head.
if needed, we can do a budget opening on that
Yeah.
one, but nominal
That probably would
amounts
include
change.
benefits, and then adjustment to part-time, and just balance that and bring that the least amount of possible out of our general fund as possible. Okay, you're good. We got a thumbs up both places.
Okay,
So-
all right, so that's a motion that we have. Was it seconded?
Seconded.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we add a full-time employee to the auditor's office of up to $86,000. Those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay. All right. What else we got, Dave?
Go ahead, someone else, while I fumble through some of my writing, and I
Okay.
don't have that much, because we
We need to make a discussion about hiring a Board of Equalization hearing officer. I sent you guys all a text. Regardless of whether we hire somebody to do the Board of Equalization hearings, we all still have to do the 2 days of training so that we can accept their recommendations. So do you guys want to add something to the budget to pay for that, or do you want to keep doing those ourselves?
I thought we'd had some discussion that it doesn't necessarily have to be somebody outside of the organization. It could be somebody within the organization right now. We have civil attorneys that we could rely on, that they could do the training with us. I think that hiring outside the organization doesn't necessarily have to be the only answer.
Okay?
I agree with that. But I'm also, I want it be known that I'm happy to continue to participate in BOEs.
So I've had some people contact me and they're wondering, how do we know that if we hire a hearing officer, that person has background in Greenbelt and those other things?
Well, we'd just have to make sure that that's a qualification.
Because I align with Dave, I'm fine with doing it. It does take a lot of time, but I've actually sat with some constituents that I've known, and I think it's helped in a voice there, so. But I also see the point of, if you get somebody in there who is fully trained in all of those areas, that's good too, but, so it's half of
What
one and
about
six
this?
of
What
the
if
other.
if we don't add anything to our budget, and, because those won't happen until next August. So let's go ahead and go through that training and maybe talk with the executive or with the attorney's office and see if there's somebody that might be able to join us in that training from the county, and if not, we'll have to do a budget opening and hire somebody, or we'll decide to do it ourselves, but we can make those decisions next year. We don't necessarily have to increase the budget tonight.
I like that.
Does that sound acceptable?
Yeah, I
That we
think that's
kind of
good.
That
just
training's
need-
scheduled for March?
Yeah, it's March
March.
10th, or 11th and 12th.
Yeah, 2
Okay.
full days.
Save your date.
Yeah, I already did.
Barbara, you skipped that one.
Yeah.
Well, I
Okay.
would like to say, even though I'm not going to be here, I agree with David and Nolan. It does take a lot of time, but I feel like when we're in there personally, that they're going to, I don't know, either open up or, you know, whether they agree with us or not, I think they're going to be more able to talk to us on a personal level with us. So I just agree with that.
Okay. All right, so if everybody's
We can
okay
make
with that.
Decision later.
Yes, we can. Okay, the other thing, if you will look at the communications line in the council, that includes a cell phone stipend that we had not previously received, but
It's allocated to all other elected
it's allocated to
officials.
all other elected officials, so that is a change. And then I think there was one other thing
Do
that,
we have the AV equipment
no,
on
it's
here?
not there. You're gonna have to make a motion.
No, it was brought in.
Oh.
Yeah, we brought it in.
Brought it in the
Brought it
one,
up there.
yeah.
It's
Okay,
in
good.
there, but it's not, I don't see it in here, Matt.
It's in the capital section. I don't know that that's on that page, but
Oh, we don't have a capital line item in our,
it's a different fund, so it's going to appear.
okay.
Okay, cool. Fits
Okay,
in
that's
there.
why I didn't see it. Okay,
It's-
perfect. All right.
We're gonna have a room that's gonna work like 2025.
2026.
2026, well, don't get ahead of yourself. Well, I'll be happy at 2025.
Okay, I think that includes the things that I was looking at in the council budget.
The $40,000 equipment upgrade is on page 63.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you. My pages aren't numbered, that's okay.
I keep going from one to the other back between them.
Of the
probably in
one,
here.
of the one we emailed you,
Oh, okay,
and those are numbered.
okay, gotcha.
All right.
Yep.
That's for the,
For the, yes.
for all
Yeah,
the
for
AV
audio,
AV
video,
stuff
and
that's gotta be
everything in
done.
here we need to do.
Okay, all right, what else? Bring me your ideas.
Mine was just a comment, and I was holding, just in case it was brought up, you know, by someone else that's already talked plenty, but, just, to me, it looked like things are matching up or consistent with what they were before as far as what we're sending, or what we're budgeting for the interlocal things like Bragg and other things, and so I just want to make sure that I hadn't, missed that there was the parity there, or if there was parity internally and but it looks the same. Sorry, I said that wrong. It looks the same, but on the inside, things were shuffled around. Is there anything that's really changing there with?
Not with Bragg, and I talked
or any
to
of the
their
others.
director about this. Their fiscal year starts in July, and so for the last couple of years, we've had that discussion about whether or not we need to increase our allocation to them. But so far, we haven't received anything from them. So if, at that point, if they do bring something to us, they do provide many, many services to our county that we would have to do ourselves, and I believe we pay them a nominal fee. So we can discuss that, though, but we need to have a proposal from them, and we haven't received that yet. So, is there any other ones specifically that you
No,
wanted to
no,
look at?
that's, as far as I understood it, we were not expecting anything different, but, you know, sometimes some of the lines change, and I
You ready for a motion?
may have not caught it, was my concern.
I think so. I think, unless somebody has any other, Dave, did you have any other things you wanted to bring up?
Unless Dave has one, I think.
I had one question, and I haven't been able to get an answer to it, was the $10,000 that we had in the 2025 budget for the Cache Water District. I thought that was for the study, that was our portion of a study that they were doing. And then I noticed it's in the 2026 requested budget again.
In what,
Has it been,
It's under non-departmentals.
the non-departmental?
has it been done? Are we sure that they've
Well, no, it's still ongoing.
Ongoing, but I think
paid?
we've put our money in,
I thought we should have already, it's already been, it was in 2025's budget, and it should have already been sent to the the Cache Water District.
See if it's been paid.
So I don't quite know why it's in the 2026 again, because I thought they only requested the 10,000 one time. And
I will say though, and I agree with you, but I do say, I think in the future, we're gonna have to look at putting money to the Cache Water District so that we go along with what we've had on the meetings as far as some water control in the county, helping in that.
Can't they levy their own tax though?
Yeah, but they levy on their own tax.
They had an increase this year.
And I guess, yes, I'm in favor of helping out there immensely, actually, but yet I think it's project by project.
Yeah.
Rather than
just putting it in
blankets,
there.
keep sending them something in
I
there.
agree, I'm just saying, I think
Yeah.
we need to be open for down the road.
So, and I see that on here, I saw it on a non-departmental, couldn't find my sheet in there.
Yeah, I don't see
But
non-departmental in this.
in looking at the finance worksheet that we had, I would move that we strike that for now until we find out.
If we're doubling up on it.
Got some more information?
And so it's probably just rolling over.
That's why we would need to roll it forward.
Yeah.
Okay, that was the explanation I needed, because I thought that was requested, and I thought it was off and gone so they can do that study. So are you waiting for an invoice from the Cache Water District?
Yeah, we don't send that out without an invoice first.
Okay.
And on several of these
I
studies.
just thought they'd already would have done that.
Yeah.
Isn't that our general practice, Matt? If we have something like that that hadn't been paid in the previous year, we run it in the budget again unless we're.
Yes, if it's something.
There's some other instances of that too,
Okay.
Dave.
That answers my question right there, just as long as we aren't paying it again, which I'm sure you're, okay.
We're only gonna pay it once.
Yeah, and I just didn't want it, it's kind of like drugs, I just don't want organizations to get addicted to it.
What's going to happen is when we finish, we have a bunch of those, when we finish our budget for this year, when we will reopen the budget, and we'll take that out of the 25 budget.
Okay.
And that we won't have all of those numbers until sometime in probably February, right, Matt?
Yeah.
But we will have another budget opening, the last opening on the 25 budget. And those funds that have been allocated for a certain project that were not finished, we will take out and put in the 26 budget.
You could kind of look at some open POs and stuff like that that roll over. Yeah,
It's
I
got
understand
once,
that
we
part,
just
but I just
don't-
wanted to make sure that we just got another request. And
Yeah.
so I appreciate that explanation, so that I support all that, so.
And Matt, are you guys in the process of reevaluating the tax admin percentages? Is that something you guys have discussed?
Not at this time. It's on our to-do list. More, I think, urgently, next year, we're going to be reevaluating the tax admin, tax revenue.
Okay.
I think we're probably going to need to do.
The A and C line item of tax.
Right, because the spending on that is drawing that fund balance down. So we're going to need to do an increase.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. All right, what else?
Got a very small one.
Okay.
After all the scrutiny, one that I found in the fair, it's on page 54. It's item 100-4620-310, professional and technical. First 2 years, there's no budget for that. This year's budget was 10,000. I talked to the auditor, they've spent 5,000 of it so far. There's a couple weeks left in the year, and they're budgeted for 18,500 next year. So I would just reduce that by $5,000, so it makes it 13,500. It's a modest cut, and it seems reasonable.
Has there been any discussion with the fairgrounds? Like, are they aware of this? And was there a reason they asked for that much more for this year? Did they have specifics in mind that they needed for that $18,000?
No, they did. They just specifically, they asked for the increase, but they did not get into specifics about why, other than that they felt that they were going to need those funds. But Councilman Garrity is correct. We've budgeted 10,000 this year and have only spent 5.
Okay.
Is that same true with education and training, 2 lines below?
That one went down.
That went down, but
And the reason for that is that the Executive Budget Committee, the executive felt, and I think wisely, that there was just too much budgeted for that travel. They don't need to travel that much. Now, not all of that travel is for the staff to go to training. Some of those travel costs are for us to bring in judges, rodeo clowns, what have you. But in the budget process, as we met with that department head, we felt that it was just too rich.
Okay, so.
The amendment?
Yeah, so that's the amendment. I'd make that motion that we amend that line, which is.
I will second that.
It's been moved and seconded that we decrease the fair budget in line 100-4620-310 by $5,000. Is there any discussion?
Be a little careful.
Yeah.
Because that same rationale that I just heard, I can go through a whole bunch of these other budgets and all of a sudden and see little spikes here and there and wonder why too. One is trails. Trails are also, bang, their travel budget went up, way up. And, you know, there's a bunch of things like that that I sit there and,
Well,
yeah, I question about.
What my suggestion would be on that, to tag on to something the executive mentioned, is that we're going to have firm data by February as to what was really spent in 2025. And we've already planned a second round of meetings, translate that into cuts that we're going to be presenting to you based on what actual spending was in 2025. We're going to come back and cut 2026 where we find the areas are too rich. We've already identified this area and several in public safety.
Okay.
Say, we envision the budget process as more fluid than it has been, Dave, and that we're going to be continuously monitoring expenditures and making adjustments in them. What you're trying to do now is predict 2026 when you haven't finished 2025. And so when we try to compare 25 and 26, what we have to do is estimate what 25 is going to end up at and then project 26. The smart way to do this is we're not, I mean, we have adequate reserves and we're not going to spend any money that we don't want to spend. So if we're up or down a little bit, it's well within our capacity. We're not trying to budget to zero as though we don't have enough money to cover anything that's a little different than what we've done. So we've asked all the departments, instead of putting additional money in case you need it for something, to just put what you actually believe that you need. And we will be cleaning up those further department by department once we get the end of 25. We intend to reopen the budget, finish 25 and reopen 26 and adjust it. And that won't be just the first quarter, that will be the first, second, third. On a quarterly basis, we're going to be making adjustments in the budgets going forward. We'll have a year to date, we'll have a projection, we'll have a result, and we'll adjust. One of the benefits that you have is you have an adequate reserve. We can do that. And for example, the change that you talk about in the library, if we decide in June that we're going to fund this library the rest of the way, we don't have to worry about having enough money to do that. We have plenty of money to do that if that's what we choose to do. So it's a more fluid process than locking everything down now and planning on living with it next year.
Okay, I have a motion.
I'm sorry, Councilwoman.
Yes, please.
Chair, may I? On that $5,000, we were just doing a quick on-the-fly analysis, and we realized part of the problem that on why that's underspent in 25. We booked it to the wrong account. There was a $16,000 expense that we booked to the 250 account rather than 310. Based on that, I think I would come back and say let's leave it where it's at.
That's going to be my suggestion.
I can withdraw that motion.
Okay. Yeah, I hate to arbitrarily do something without checking.
Without talking to the department
getting
head.
I do
some
want to
detail.
say too, it wasn't a haphazard cut based on just my guessing, Dave. I want to speak to that. Like I did try to do my due diligence and reach out and find out what was spent.
That's true. Keegan has been asking me questions for the last 2 days. I've spent most of my time happily responding.
That's why we didn't get the information.
Some of us got a lot of information.
Yeah. Okay. Is there anybody else that wants to discuss a specific line item? If not, I would, well, I shouldn't say if not. I'll give you a minute. Anything else? Does someone want to make a motion?
I move to approve resolution 2025-43, approving and adopting the 2026 Cache County budget.
As amended.
As amended.
As amended.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the Cache County 2026 budget, resolution 2025-43 as amended. Any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oh, wait.
Never.
Give me, it's a good thing I have
Do we need to
this.
vote again, or do we?
Okay.
Everybody
I will
said
vote
something,
aye.
but
I will vote aye.
Oh,
All right.
well, aye.
All right, I'm going to excuse Councilwoman Buse. I know you have somewhere else you need to go. Thank you for joining us. The other business, the employee Christmas dinners tomorrow night. Hopefully you've all RSVP'd. You can be there. You at County Day on the Hill, January 21st. Please let Andrew know whether to register you for that.
Yes.
I will not be there, Andrew. Okay, I'm going to maybe waive council member reports, and let's take a motion to go into executive session.
Madam Chair, I move we enter and close executive session in Cache County Executive's conference room for the following two reasons. One, strategy sessions to discuss the purchase, exchange, or lease of real property, or to discuss a proposed development agreement, project proposal, or financing proposal.
Do we have to do them separate?
I just wanted to say, I'm sorry, before we move in and give some thanks. Thank you, everybody. First of all, I want to thank my husband for his great support to me. I didn't want to do this, but Gary has supported me in everything I've ever done in my whole married life to him, and he's been a great support. So thank you to my husband, and thank you to all of you who really love this county, because you've been a great inspiration to me. Sometimes it's a thankless job doing service in the public, but I'll tell you, people do appreciate what we do, and they sometimes don't agree with what we do, but they do appreciate what we do, and I appreciate all the department heads. Thank you so much for all that you've done for me and the respect you've given me. It's been great working with everyone here, and I just want to say that publicly. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Barbara.
And thank you to all the council.
Thank you. I
Thank you.
propose we
Thank you,
text her
Barbara.
every council meeting just so she knows what she's missing.
I know. We expect that you'll be watching.
Yes.
Watching from
I
home.
will watch, yes, and that's another thing. This is not the end. I will be involved in different things that come up, and I still have a voice, and I will make that voice heard on different things.
Thank you, Barbara.
You're welcome.
Okay, I have a motion on the floor that we move to executive session.
I didn't finish the
Yep.
second one.
Okay,
The second one would be the discussion of the character, professional competence, or physical or mental health of an individual.
Second?
so moved and seconded that we move to executive session for the aforementioned reasons. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay,
Sorry to interrupt.
No, glad you did. I didn't catch what she was going to do.
Thank you.
oh no, thank you. No. Okay. Before you go to the original.